People, Deluded, I'm back again. Good morning, and I hope you're all doing well and safe. You know, it is well, it is in that regards. Every day's a blessing. Now, in relation to Arsenal, it's the same old rumours, recycled and recycled. 98% of them are nonsense, but you know, it's the transfer window. Arsenal fans like myself, small hope for either or. Partey and Aouar, would love both. If that was a push for me personally, I'd move towards Aouar purely because, you know, I'm an Arsenal fan. You know, I was born coming up in the Arsene Wenger sort of reign. I think Aouar is an Arsenal player in that he's very good technically. He can develop. I do think people sensationalise him. If you watch him on a regular basis, you know, I think to really reach that next level, there really has to be a high level of consistency in performances to take it to that next level, rather than the standout Champions Leagues people are occasionally watching. But I think he's everything we've spoken about in the last 20 years of what Arsenal has been. I love that guy. I don't think we're going to get him. Equally, I think people sensationalise Partey and make out that he's perfect when he's not. That being said, he's a bad boy. He's a serious, strong Ghanaian midfielder. We need that. He can put a foot in, you know, and, you know, he doesn't need to... He can play as a box-to-box midfielder as well as a defensive mid. But for me, it's a box-to-box thing. Just put a foot in and distribute it to the more technical-based players. He would add some steel in our midfield. Would love both. You know, hands open for either one, welcoming Partey or Aouar with open arms. We'll have to see, man. So it's the same old rumours. On the topic of Aouar, you know, the latest has come out is that I think a journalist, I forgot his name, but his username on Twitter is John, that's JON _ Gossip, LE Gossip. You lot can spell gossip. He said, my understanding is that Lyon are looking for a fee of... people are looking for a fee of upwards of 43.2 million, 50 million euros for Aouar. Now again, I don't know if he's a credible source. I don't know where he's got that. But 50 million, you'd imagine, come on, man, we must be able to scrape £2 together. The problem is, can I see us spending 50 million on him, paying the release clause of Partey? That's about 80 on the centre mids or so, 70, 80, without, you know, moving on Torreira and Guendouzi and getting other players off. Maybe a bit naive, but it does seem feasible, more feasible than I would have thought a week or so ago. So we'll have to see, man. We heard before, you know, Arsenal the only team with an official bid, but who knows? Because for me, you know, if the teams like Juventus, Barca, Madrid, all of these teams, Bayern Munich, all coming in for you, which you've seen rumours of, there's no contest. You don't go to Arsenal. The only thing that Arsenal could say is that, listen, you know, you're going to be a bad boy player of tomorrow, but do you think you're 100% in your peak performances? Like I said, consistency of performances, do you think you're at that level? You've seen players that are more ahead in their development go to these clubs and fail. So do you want to come to Arsenal, a little intermediate step, you come here, you try to do our thing, you further perfect your game, and then you go off to them sort of teams when you're 25, 26 or so, when you're in your prime and ready for this thing? Who knows, man? I would love Aouar, but that's what he said. Apparently, the Telegraph have reported PSG turned down the chance to sign Matteo Guendouzi from Arsenal, but they're to ramp up their interest in Bellerin. Now, last night I saw a case of, I can't remember the journalist's name, but he said, while this deal could happen, there is a bit of mixed information around this. And again, I don't know if he's talking sense, but he more or less said that it's more of a case of Arsenal offering Bellerin around, and specifically to PSG, than them coming for us. And that's cool. That happens in football. We know PSG need a right back. They've let Meunier go. Meunier leave. Can't say his name. Meunier, you know, the Belgium lad that went Dortmund. So I could see that, you know, Bellerin, if we can get 30+ million euros, it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. That can be taken and thingy and redistributed into the side and allow us to do better things, man. So I wouldn't mind that at all. But I actually want Bellerin to stay. Speaking of fullbacks and Maitland-Niles, I'm sure you all got to see him training for England and stuff. Very proud moment for our Highland lad. He's spoken to the ITV, but the only bit I wanted to say is, I try to train to be the best every day. I think being with Arteta as a manager has installed that into me. I want to bring it here and show them I am like that all the time, trying to progress. That's my mindset. And maybe Arteta's finally got through, because Arteta said throughout the season, he said stuff like he's got ability, you know, he always bigs up Maitland-Niles, talks about his potential midfield as well as fullback, but he's spoken about he's got to show me every 3 days, so consistency and performance on a match day. And he's also said, it kind of alluded to it in training in previous weeks, you know, maybe he feels Maitland wasn't pushing himself, maybe he feels he wasn't pushing himself consistently, like he'd give a high level one week on a Monday, on a Wednesday you're not doing the same, so it's all irrelevant. Maybe that's what you feel with Arteta. He likes to meet players with some sort of friction, and he'll gas you and put his arm around you, but he kind of wants that friction to kind of almost like not like a healthy fallout, like you provoke that thinking that I want to be better because I want to stick two fingers up at Arteta and show him he's wrong, and that's another sign of brilliant management from him. Like I always say, Arteta can tell all of these players the things, and he can take them to the water, but they have to drink, and it's about changing the mindset. And when I hear Maitland speak about stuff like that, that's what I want to hear. Away from that though, and completely off topic, people, as you know, we're moving further and further down the line in terms of getting back to normal society with COVID. Apparently Arsenal are planning to allow fans back into the Emirates for the Premier League game against Sheffield United on October the 3rd. Arsenal season ticket holders will be selected to attend through a ballot system. And again, apparently, you know, that's gold ticket members and obviously season tickets. So why on earth Arsenal saw the need to charge me to keep my red? Why not just freeze? I got 2 red memberships, freeze both of them. It is what it is. You're making man pay for it, which I don't have a problem with, but I can't go to the games, and it's just a bit of a sticky one. You know, I'm sure many fans like myself, you're gonna have aimless hopes of looking on the ticket exchange trying to get to the Emirates. You know, you could probably imagine Robbie gets the ticket because he's connected. But yeah, it's nice to see we're moving in the right direction. It's nice to see some fans will be allowed in some capacity. That's what the club have said. Moving away from that though, people, and Fiorentina are still on the case with Torreira. It's getting quite boring speaking about that. Apparently, Fiorentina are expecting a decision from Arsenal this weekend. The Serie A club are confident they'll reach... Shut up, Siri, man. They will reach an agreement to sign the Uruguayan midfielder on loan with an obligation to buy at a predetermined price. I want to keep Torreira, but if he don't want to be here and he's not in the plans, it is what it is. Now, Kolašinac, apparently, you know, to Schalke, it is going to be difficult to finance. Apparently, that's what Blind have said. Schalke have said internally. Apparently, Leverkusen are also interested in him. Apparently, Arsenal are looking for a fee of 15 million. Now, again, that's not the biggest, but when you look at it, if you do want Kolasinac, yeah, you might think he's decent, but he's on 100k a week. He probably will take a drop, but he probably wants something respectable. He wants that, and you have to fork out of 15 million. So 15 million and near to 100 bags a week for someone who's had injuries and not really been consistent is a costly outlay. You know, apparently he wants to return back to Schalke for personal reasons and things like that. You know, apparently, you know, he's instructed estate agents to find a house and things like that. Apparently he's met with the sporting director ahead of a potential move, according to Blind. Apparently he's met with him 3 times in the past few weeks ahead of a potential loan deal. Apparently the 27-year-old would like to return to his former club, but for Schalke it might not be financially feasible. The Bundesliga club must reach an agreement with Arsenal on how the Bosnian salary would be divided during his loan spell. Arsenal are willing... Arsenal appear to be willing to allow Kolasinac, who wants to return to Schalke for personal reasons, to leave the club. As I already said, Leverkusen are also interested in him. So we'll have to see how it develops. But for me, if you can remove Kolasinac off the wage books, you know, 100k can do a lot for this club in terms of giving that elsewhere or redistributing it where needed. You know, because on paper right now, you've got Tierney, Maitland-Niles and Saka, who, if you're harsh, I know Saka's had a run at fullback and Maitland-Niles is getting a run at fullback, but you know, we know Maitland's a fullback, but 2 players, one's a central midfielder, one's a winger amongst other things, and they're seen, by me at least, as better options at left back than you. So if we can move him on, why not, man? If you could bring in a shrewd addition, a cheap sort of left back that can do a job, I'm all for that as well. So it means Maitland can move over to the right and Saka can focus on being a winger, to be fair with you. On that note though, I've got nothing more to add, so I'm going to get out of here. People, deluded, I'm out.